Closing is always easy when you're in Cardone U. We role play with Grant Cardone's team. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, in FLC. Closing is better with appointment setters. You'd better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, on that you can quote me, in FLC.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the FLC Hangout, where your freedom lifestyle begins. I'm so excited. Today we are really diving deep. We're going deep today, okay? So be warned. We're going into all the get your shovels, get your shovels ready. We're going into all the foundations of life, really. Your foundations, your systems. This is for you, whether you're in business, whether you're not in business. You need a good foundation. So I don't want to spoil too much. We have a very, very special guest who we are so excited to have on. Bee, thank you so much for being here.
Everybody.
Absolutely amazing and a very good friend of both of ours. So we're so excited to have him and pick his brain. Pick your brain. We're going to be picking your brain. So before before we move on, make sure to follow us all on Instagram. I've put it on the screen. And without further ado, Misty.
Hey Bee, I'm so excited you're here. This is so awesome. I keep telling you, I am like a huge fan of Bee. You guys have got to follow him. He is so freaking fly. He's like, damn, man's lit. So Bee, we want to know so much more about you. So I'm going to let you take the platform and let you give us a little bit about you before we jump into any questions. So go for it. It's all you, hon.
Okay, so hey, as you guys know, my name is Bee. I go by Bee Bonta, which is a combination of my nickname and my real name. You feel me? I am an ancestral venerator. Ancestral veneration basically means that I honor and I give respect to my ancestors on a daily basis. I am a psychic channeler. And when I come with psychic channeling, it comes with me doing psychic readings for individuals. And I am a Reiki master. I got my Reiki mastery last year. You feel me? Thank you so much to my lineage, to the Yusui Ryohu. I gotta apologize. Like, I'm feeling so much of this energy. It's so.
Woo, don't apologize. It's awesome. Just go for it.
Just flowing through. You feel me? Like, and it's just so beautiful. Like, okay, just breathing. Okay, so as I was saying, you feel me? I am a Reiki master. I am part of the Yusui Ryoho line. With that being said, that's pretty much all that I do as a business so far. I do a lot of different things. You feel me? I think I'll do better with just the questions. You feel me? Flowing with the questions. You ask me questions, I answer back. Because just talking about myself.
We can definitely do that. Yeah, no worries. We can definitely do that.
Let's have a conversation about this, because what you do and what you know, I am really interested, and I know anyone watching, it will be so beneficial for them, especially people in business, because I know we said this on a chat with us before, but I want to say it here because it's so true that when you think about like, let's say, manifesting and having a really strong foundation in yourself, like your soul and your ancestors and nature and all of this stuff, people don't associate business with that. And it seems so two worlds apart, right? To think about that and think about business and the grind and the hustle culture. But really, you can't have one without the other. So do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. And also just adding on to that, and it's just like just having an authentic moment, just even with me as well. You know, you see yourself and you have all different talents, these different gifts. And then when you get put on the moment to speak about these skills, you feel me, it's like it don't come out. And so you feel like, oh, I'm not validating myself. But it's like understanding that just because you're not able to communicate and talk in a way that most people feel that you should, doesn't take away from the knowledge and the gifts and the things that you know and how you're moving about things. So just because you don't know so much about spirituality doesn't mean like, oh, I'm just gonna suck in business. Like, no, it's telling you that if I include this knowledge into my foundation, I'll be able to grow and improve things in ways that I didn't think I could do before. You feel me? Just by understanding that money is an energy, it takes away that heaviness that we feel when it comes to money. Just understand that, hey, it could be my limited blocks towards money that's caused me not to have money, not the fact that I'm not worthy of money, not the fact that I can't do it, that I'm not good enough, that I'm never going to get a job. It's the fact that that mindset is what's keeping me in that vibration. We feel like that, oh, I'm not in alignment, but in truth, we are in alignment. You are in alignment with what you are thinking, with what you are feeling, with what you are doing. And when you shift things, that's when things are shifting to realign you into who you think you should be in that moment. And it's the actions. We want to be in the future. We want to get in the future, but we're not understanding that it's the present that's getting us into the future. And as I said, as I just keep going, I just flow. I'm able to communicate more better. That's just how I flow, because with me, I study astrology. And with astrology, I learned that with my Mercury's in retrograde. So meaning that I do have complications with talking. And with me, the background I come from, I've done a lot of self-work on my speech, because I used to, get told that, I'm not always able to be understood at times. And so with that being said, I used to be a person who was very hard on my speech, which also led me to learn to also love the way that I talk. And when I say this, it's like you go through these extremes in life. You go through these opposites. It's like you go through these points where you at your very low, you see the lowest of yourself. And then when you get to the point it's in the highest of yourself, you merge those together and you learn to love each aspect, like the wholeness of yourself. So even when I mess up my words, that doesn't take away my value just as much that it still adds to my value when I'm speaking fluently. And even I can be speaking fluently and be talking a whole lot of nonsense. So
yeah,
I just had to share. I just felt to move to share that. Like I just felt to share that.
yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Obviously, somebody needed to hear it. Besides just us, somebody else needed to hear it. So I really appreciate it.
My ears, like somebody's listening. I could, and that's like the way how I feel. Like as I say, as a psychic channeler, not able to explain that more. As a channel, I allow different energies to flow through my vessel. I allow my vessel to be a medium for information, for spirits, other communication to like passed on loved ones to your ancestors, mainly ancestors, because as an ancestor generator, I have done a lot of work with different ancestral collectives and with different people who have different types of ancestors from different cultures, and not only from this life, but from past lives as well. If you believe in reincarnation or not, you feel me? We have different ancestors that we're connected to, because when we incarnate in these vessels, the spirit isn't biased to what it chooses to incarnate as, regardless of the religion or the background you choose to believe. We understand that energy is everything, and energy and embodies everything. So if everything's energy, and then the word spirit basically means energy, and so spirit is everything, even this cup. But the difference between this cup and us humans is the consciousness that we embody. The same thing is the difference between us and the animals. Like the animals still have spirit. The animal can still give you messages, but only in the way that animals can give it. We be looking for such mystified views and perspectives of things. And there are those times that you do that stuff. I had times when I don't have things just disappear in front of me and just pop up back in my face like nothing. You feel me? Just like you do have those woo-woo moments. And those are beautiful as well if you enjoy those, which I do. But it's like you also just have the most simple aspects of things where your intuition just lets you know not to turn down the wrong path, so you don't come across this road that's messed up and you get into a wreck. It could be something that simple that really just saves your life and helps you move forward on your journey and on your timeline. And that's something that I do for my work as well. It's like help bridge the practical and the spiritual together. And so
That
Thank you
is
guys.
Awesome.
It's like opening me up. Like I said, this is my first time. Like I have my own podcast, and even with me, like my voice, my throat chakra is something that I work heavily on. Like, and that doesn't take away. And I have to always, I work on myself, work on myself. It doesn't take away the things that I know. It doesn't take away the work that I've done. It doesn't take away from who I am. But it does show me my weakness and where I continue to work on to strengthen it. And I pull my other strengths together to help strengthen that weakness. You know, my weakness doesn't have to be a negative thing unless I choose to make it. You know, it can still be something that still brings worth into my life and value. And the more I work on my communication and by putting myself in it, because we'd be scared to put ourselves in it, we'd be scared to make mistakes, but mistakes is a part of being a human. We are spiritual beings having a human existence. You're not one or the other, you're both. So you're gonna have to make mistakes in this meat suit. We're gonna mess up. I'm gonna say F up, but you know, I'm trying to keep my word.
Yeah.
Not you profanity.
Yeah.
Because if you slip out, I apologize. But that's just my background. But I work on that. I work on that. Like myself, you feel me? But
No,
yes, I'm telling you, in these meat suits, you feel me? We're gonna mess up, and we have to be okay with messing up. And that's a part of life. We get so stuck on right or wrong, but right or wrong is based on your perception. Sometimes your intuition gonna cause you to mess up so you can get right. Because if you thinking what you're doing is right, you ain't gonna want to change it. If I'm doing everything right, why would I change what I'm doing right? Come on, like that's just simple. And then we be thinking that we can use the same things to get us in out of different situations. And there are certain things like you can continue applying that method. But even with applying that method, you still know you have to evolve the method. You still evolve and you add it on to the method. It's a foundation coming back around full circle. You feel me? Back to the foundation. And so it's just like you're gonna build on your foundation. And sometimes you're gonna come and understand, like, hey, maybe that foundation I built with this project was too weak. And that's why the tower moment had to fall so I can see that before I built too much on it. You could have built it's like when Mr. Crab and SpongeBob, you know, when they built the tower with all the hotels, I think it was like hotels or something they wanted to do. You feel me? And the foundation was strong. So when it got too big, got too high, it's gonna all come tumbling down. You feel me? So we have to make sure is why if we move too fast, we don't get to see if we don't make those mistakes, we don't see what we need to shift and change and evolve.
Yeah. Yes. Ooh, fire. And it's so true because we talk about foundation and everything you've talked about, it really is the foundation to life, whatever you choose to do, whether you're whatever, like in business, out of business, flying, going to space, I don't know, anything you choose to do, you need a strong foundation. Otherwise, and this is something we talk about a lot, like being in business, otherwise it will one day crumble, like you said, like the SpongeBob reference. It's so true. And you talked about kind of connecting the spiritual to the practical, and that's so powerful because you need both of them. You need a balance of both of them, and you can't have, I said this before, you can't have one without the other. So I want to ask you as well, but you said you work on, you notice stuff you can work on and you work on it. How a lot of people, I feel like, how am I trying to say this? If something's not perfect, or like something, they don't know how to kind of start working on something, or they know they need to improve something but don't know how, what advice would you give to those people that like just are a bit lost in this area?
It's funny because I hear my grandma in my ear. Tell them this. You hear that banging, that's another. So you got to understand everything around you is a sign. If you see life as synchronicity, you start to see how everything just connect. And I just hear in my head, and it just saying sometimes giving up gonna save your life. You know, sometimes if you put your hand on that aisle and you leave it on there, you know you're gonna stay getting burned. But if you give up, if you be defiant, if you keep in your pride and you like, no, I'm gonna do what I want to do. But you're feeling your body, everything in you telling you to stop, do something different. But you like, no, I'm gonna do without your ego. You listen to your mind, because some people see the ego only on being like narcissistic and being egotistical and stuff like that. But the ego is really the mind as well. And so you listen to the mind is telling you what you want to hear. I'm gonna do what I want to do. You're gonna stay and you're gonna continue hurting yourself. But if you just take your hand, if you just listen to yourself, And sometimes you may have other people telling you. Sometimes spirit comes through other people. Other people trying to tell you stuff too. You don't want to listen. You don't listen to other people either. If you just take the time to listen and take your hand, you'll feel that relief. But because we are afraid, we are afraid, and because we feel like that we have to face and get over fear, but we don't understand that fear is going to always be there. We're supposed to befriend fear. Fear supposed to go. I had to learn that too. Fear is your friend. Fear trying to save your life too. Fear just things that you're afraid of. That's really just your inner critic. I tell you like, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, but I don't feel like this is safe. You don't feel safe. But just because you don't feel safe, you gotta ask yourself, if this fear is this fear on my mind, or this fear really dangerous? Because that's also what fear is doing, trying to tell you if you are in danger. So if somebody trying to kill me, if I go down here, if am I gonna die? Like, is this what's gonna happen? You feel me? Is something if my life really in danger, or is this only in my mind? And so that fear is only your mind. You have to face that fear. You have to tell that fear, hey, you coming with me. You feel me? You ain't gonna never ever not have fear. Fear is gonna always be there, and you're gonna have to face that fear and tell that fear, regardless of you being scared. Because I tell myself I'm scared too. I'm scared. But the thing about being courage ain't lack of fear, it's facing it. Come on, let's go. Let's do it. I'm scared too. It's like, okay, you get in that flight or fight response. You get in that, you're gonna either freeze up or you're gonna try to fight. But sometimes you just gotta breathe. You gotta feel that feeling, because we be trying to run away from these feelings, but we gotta feel that feeling. Because sometimes if you a person like me, you have to grow from a place where you was very traumatized. When you get scared, you feel this tightness in your chest. You feel me? And it's like anxiety. And it's like you have to work through that. You have to reprogram your body, because your body don't been through so much. Like, even though your brain don't went past through it, your spirit may don't heal from it. Your body like, hey, I got to catch up, because the physical is the slowest part of our existence. And so it has to catch up. You feel me? And so we have to work through those times. We have to love ourselves in every present moment. We be feeling like that, when we heal something, we done. But the thing about healing, yes, you could have healed that, but it could be something that a door you don't open that's even deeper that you got to work on now. You feel me? And so you have to show yourself grace through these moments. Don't feel like that you have to pile through. Just show yourself grace and understand that you got to breathe and be like, I'm going to be okay. That's the first step. I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
If I take a few moments to breathe, life is not going to crumble.
Yeah.
If I take a few hours just to breathe, just to sit with myself, life is not going to crumble. Because those few hours you just took stressing, life didn't crumble. So you can take a few hours just to breathe. Even because I know a lot of people, most people, like, they have children, they have a lot of things going on. So it's just like, yes, you do have to, these are your priorities. You have to reprioritize yourself, and what are your priorities? And also just understand that as much as we have to work, we also need rest. Some people just need rest. A lot of times we need true rest, and we don't even know that there is different types of rest. Sometimes we need physical rest. Sometimes folks just need emotional rest. They just need someone to just listen. We don't need nobody to be like, hey, you need to get this done. We know this. We know we need to get it done. But we just need somebody to hear us for a moment. Just sit in my pain. That's what some people are scared. I was one of those people. I'm always include myself too. I'm not gonna separate myself. That's what we try to separate. Now let's come together. We are scared to sit in the pain, to sit in that. We scared to sit in those uncomfortable emotions with each other. But sometimes people just need you to sit with them. Sometimes you need that mental rest. And you need to take the time to just meditate and decompress your mind, and not allow these thoughts to just overbear you. And it's just learning these different types of rest. That's what I would say. That's my answer. Like, I know that was a lot, but that's my answer, because we can for this, that. No, I'm not gonna give you that. I'm not gonna bullcrap you. I'm gonna speak it real with you, and I'm not gonna play with you, because I don't play with myself. And that's my grandma speaking to me now. You can hear her. We don't play over here. You feel me? But on some real mess, it's love and compassion. It's love and compassion. And that's what happens when you mix with different cultures. You get to see the different perceptions of love. And we are so used of sacrificial love. We don't really get to see unconditional love as much. And that's what we're moving to. But we're so used to people feeling like we have to give up something to love, or give up something to be something. A lot of times, a lot of stuff when it comes to our money blocks and stuff, that's why I'm talking about this. It be the fact that we don't feel worthy of it. We don't feel worthy. And I testify as one of those people. That's why I'm back here today, because I didn't feel worthy. I got into FLC, and I didn't even think to sit down and think about how I even got in. I took the time to get on social media and do something that was very vulnerable. I felt vulnerable. I had so much pride, but I put that pride aside, and I asked people to donate to me. I got on TikTok. I got on Facebook. I got on Instagram. And I said, donate and help me. this scholarship. And it happened. And
Yeah.
even then, I still didn't see my worthiness. And it took me to sit with myself and step back. And when I got to talk about TJ like, you crazy. Like, we telling you to do it. And I'm like, well, I felt I'm using more oral, like, and that's me. Like, my mind, even though I see my mind is my friend, sometimes my mind could be my enemy if I allow it to be. Because my mind just itself. The mind just being what it is. The mind cannot help you make decisions. It help you break them down. You feel me? The mind gonna always have that yes and no. You're gonna be the one making that decision. You gotta move from the heart. You gotta move from the self. You gotta trust yourself. You gotta learn. And if you went from a time where you haven't been trusting yourself, you can't expect yourself to just, oh, I trust myself now. No, you're gonna have to prove to yourself you trust yourself. So you're gonna have to, in the moment, make better decisions for yourself. And the more you do that, the more you're gonna get in tune with aligning with making better decisions for yourself. It just get better and better. It just get better. And stop looking for an end goal. Understand it get better. It get better and better. It gets better and better.
Absolutely. So true. And for anyone wondering, by the way, TJ is Chabaria, our beloved Chabaria.
Yes.
And just real quickly, because I know Misty has a question too. What you said was so powerful, like feeding the fear and doing it anyway. Like 2 points on that before I pass over to Misty. One, what Seb always says is fear lies in the anticipation of action, not in the action itself. Okay, so take of that what you will, just go for it. Yeah. Two is what we've learned from working with Grant Cardone and his team is people will say to them, oh, but I'm scared. And they say, okay, do it anyway. It's that simple.
I remember that one. I definitely remember that one.
You're scared, like fine, feel scared, feel happy, feel tired, feel sad. Do it anyway. But so that's so powerful. Misty, go ahead.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on, you guys are both talking about basically what I'm getting and what I've said before is I'm a caregiver. So in my position, when I take care of somebody else, people think that a caregiver is just somebody go in and it's a free maid. They get to go in, clean the house, physically help clean up the person if that's what they need. And it's so much more than that. Because you're there to take care of the entire person. That means mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, all of that. So you're not only taking care of the physical needs, you need to take care of everything. So being spiritual and having that, like you said, merging that with who you are and where you are at in life and business and everything else, you have to take all of that into consideration when you're doing anything. But Bee, we had a question for you. If somebody is just coming into any of this, what kind of practices would you implement or suggest that they implement on a day-to-day basis in order to begin to start connecting with themselves and being able to mesh the two together?
Okay, that's a good question. The first thing I would definitely tell them, though, I would just, first of all, let them know spirituality, breaking down these words, getting into etymology, just breaking down the word what spirituality means, it just literally means the life of the spirit. And so I will let them know that spirituality will look different for everyone. There are, when you venture into certain cultures and certain practices, you have certain rules, you have certain guidelines. Y'all let them know, you feel me? Just because you have free will doesn't mean there aren't consequences to your actions. So where there is, you can just do anything. But with that doing anything, there is something that comes from that. So I definitely would just let them know the first start just with self. Sit with self, because a lot of times we are already connecting with our spirits. We're already connecting with ourselves because the first spirit is yourself, the source within you. And the energies around you are already speaking to you, reflecting to you. It's just, are you paying attention? We have so much things going on around us and within us that we're not listening. Spirit speaks very subtly, very quietly. It's not going to yell at you. You feel me? Unless it's something drastic that's going on. Your gifts are very popping, and they're not going to be yelling at you about anything, because at the end of the day, that one word I just said, free will, matters a lot. We don't understand how powerful and how deep free will goes and how much we give it away. And so with free will, energies, no matter if it's positive or negative, cannot interfect your life without you allowing it. And that power, that allowance goes very deep. And the more you start seeing where you are allowing things in your life, is how you will start taking more control of your life. Because now, since you know what you are allowing, you know what you no longer want to allow, and no longer what you want to give your power, time, your attention to. They say where your attention goes, your energy flows. You know, your attention is your energy. And so, with that being said, I say the practices I will recommend would be for. I love meditation. Just me personally, I love sitting. I'm not gonna tell you there is a specific way to meditate, because with me as the person I am, I flow with spirit. I learn a lot of my knowledge and my wisdom from my own spiritual team, my own ancestors, also just from the journeys that I live in many lives. And so a lot of stuff comes from within. But a lot of ways that I like to meditate, I like to lay down. You feel me? I don't fall asleep though. But laying down is much more of a comfortable position for me because of my back. I'm not gonna make myself uncomfortable. That's a big thing. A lot of people tend to try to make themselves uncomfortable. Don't force uncomfortability, because it's gonna come. You're gonna get uncomfortable naturally as things start shifting and changing. So be as comfortable as you can. And so, with that being said, when you're doing meditation, a lot of times we feel like there's a purpose, and the purpose of meditation is just to be, to take those moments to just be. And so if you're meditating and you find yourself thinking about your thoughts, remind yourself to just focus back on your breathing. Just focus back on your breathing, because as you focus on your breathing, you'll notice that those thoughts tend to drift away. It's called the monkey mind. And the one thing about the mind is it want to talk. So when you start trying to ignore the mind like, whoa, you ignoring me now? You ain't want to listen? You don't want to listen to me? Okay, I'm finna talk about everything. And it's gonna say things to get your attention. It's gonna say the most juiciest stuff. Oh, you know that girl you're thinking about, she wants you. You know, you're gonna say the stuff that it knows it want to get you. You feel me? And so you're gonna have to just, it's a practice. It's an exercise. It's like we be wanting a one fix thing. It's just like when we go to the gym, it's an exercise. You feel me? You have to continue these practices and understanding that it's a process. And don't be jumping in and think you're just going to be able to do things at one time. And sometimes you can't, because you got those people who just got selling gifts and stuff like that. That's powerful. But on a practical level, just go one step at a time, especially with that meditation, because don't be feeling like that you're just going to be able to ignore your thoughts first go real, because you're not. You feel me? Even people who are very excel in meditation still have to take the time to not pay attention to their thoughts. Okay, so I'll say that. I'll say just look at the normal ways that you already give honorance to yourself and to the energies around you. I feel like, with me personally, I feel like even atheists connects with spirit because they believe in they self. They don't see anything outside of themselves. So that's still the same thing. You don't have to connect with things outside of you. As long as you connect with everything within you, you're gonna connect with what's you're gonna connect with outside of you. You feel me? Because as within, as without. And so as long as you're connecting with the heart, you're connecting with self, that's all that matters. Like, anything can truly be a spiritual practice because it's the journey of you. So if it's something that's elevating you, if it's something that's growing your awareness, if it's something that's growing you, even mathematics, if it's science, people feel like science is separate. No, science is learned spirituality. It's just the things that we can understand, that we can know. It's the logic behind it. You feel me? And so with that being said, whatever moves you, it's the practice that you should go down. I don't feel like there is a one practice. There is multiple things out there that can help move you, and even ways that you may not even want to do. You have people who use piercings to connect with themselves, and they pierce their body, and they use these piercings and that pain, through that pain, because some people want to understand, like, why would I want to go through pain? But not understand that pain teaches you your limits. Pain teaches you when you have had enough. These negative emotions that we perceive negative, we run from. Negativity is really not as bad as we want to make it be. Oh, no negative, oh, no negative. But negative and positive is all around us. You feel me? And so when you're feeling those negative emotions, and it's like, boom, you're feeling sad, you're feeling angry, understand these things are teaching you stuff. It's teaching you stuff. And I know I feel somebody saying like, oh, he's all over the place, but that's just how I flow. And this is all, and it's funny because it may seem like I'm all over the place, but that's a part of who I am too. I'm always teaching something on the low with my spirits. It's all about foundation. Because if you can tell that I don't have a foundation coming on here. It's just chaos, but the chaos still flows. This is a lesson for someone that it's okay for you to flow in your chaos. Order looks different for everyone. But it would have been
Controlled
more
chaos.
structured. It would have been way more structured if I had like a guideline, like, okay, I'll run, I'll run, I'll run out.
Mm-hmm.
But that some people don't even need a guideline. Yes, it started off a little choppy, but as we're flowing, as we're going, things are flowing as it should. You feel me?
Yeah.
And everyone's foundation is personal. And then
And
when you come together, that foundation is different too. Your own
yeah,
personal foundation is different. And then when you come in with your cousin foundation, like y'all come, you gotta get how y'all come together. You feel me? Y'all may
yeah,
not flow together the same way. That's why you have
yeah,
to know these things. You feel me? And so
exactly. That's yeah, no, I 100% do. And I'm sure everyone watching as well, because we are seeing kind of the teaching in real life, like just being able to flow. And like you said, you on your journey, you'll discover what like works for you and different practices that work for you, and there's not one practice. And like this is how, like, for example, I'm using you as an example because you're here. This is how you work and like how you flow. And it might, it doesn't seem like chaos to me, like it makes so much sense to me, but for someone it's very, like Misty said, controlled chaos. That's what I tell my room is when she says it's messy. But it's so true. Like it's everything coming out is a learning, and people like everyone says, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So I really want to thank you for being here and sharing all your wisdom with us.
and
Yeah.
just see like the match of all our universes. Just like this is what unconditional love is. This is what being authentic is. Everyone just being their self. I'm not here trying to be someone for anybody other than being myself. You're here doing the same thing. Missy here being the same thing. And it's just genuine authenticity. And it gives that room for others to express that as well. And this is definitely something I will always love to be a part of, because that reflects who I am. Because authenticity and being open and being vulnerable, that's just who I am. And it's something that I understood that it's not something I could just sit in my room and get. It's something that I know it started with me. And also I had to apply the things that I learned myself with others. I had to learn that I was the problem. Just like going back around that foundation, I was the problem. I was the one who was holding myself back from actually stepping into my gifts, into my luxury that I know that I deserve, because it's a birthright. Prosperity is a birthright. We are already prosperous. We're already rich. But because of our mindset and because of certain backgrounds, and then it's like, and don't get me wrong, I have got to the point where when I say this, I no longer use it as an excuse though. Like it's a point in our lives where we have to realize that we have to stop using things as an excuse of why we're staying in a certain place. Like, yes, it's beautiful to acknowledge it because awareness is the first step. But then now it's like, what you gonna do about it? Okay. It's like, boom, okay, you got a boo-boo. Okay, what you gonna do about it? You gonna just leave it alone? You gonna go get a band-aid?
Yeah.
You're gonna put some hurt on it. Like, is all what you're gonna do? You're gonna just keep saying, like, you feel me? Like, you're gonna keep saying, how? You're gonna cry. It's like, make a decision. Like, decision you're gonna get the response that you may or may not be looking for. You feel me? Because a cry is gonna operate a different timeline than going to get a band-aid, then just talking, getting mad. And when you make these different decisions, you're opening away a new timeline to operate in a different way. And so with that being said, we have to understand that every present moment, we have the opportunity to create something new, to create a change, to create something different, regardless of what we've been through, regardless of what everybody around us trying to tell us who we should be, who we are, and what we did, remind us of that. You have to see that stuff as your reflections and your lessons to continue moving forward. You feel me? If someone comes to you, like, and I'm a Scorpio moon, it's gonna be very dark. You feel me? If you coming from a place where you gonna did something like SA somebody, you feel me? And it's like, boom, you doing that self work to heal from that and grow from that. And then you got people coming like, no, you still wrong, you still wrong. You have to realize, understand, your response shows your healing work. That's just all that is. Your response of that. Because you can come back from that. Yes, you made a decision because people don't know what happened. You feel me? Because you could have that charge just because you was 19 and the girl was 17. You feel me? And it was consensual. But at the same time, boom, it's still wrong. But so it's like, you can't let someone else judge you for what you've been through because you already judge yourself enough. You are your critic. And I go dark like that because it's like you get them extremes. So like if it's lighter than that, you understand like, hey, you can come back from something like that. I can come back from, oh, I lost my job. Oh, I can come back from, oh, I'm a terrible boyfriend. Oh, I was so rude in that last relationship. Okay, we get it. You did. Accept it. You're the bad guy. You're gonna be a villain in somebody's story, but be your hero. It's time for you to be your hero. You feel me?
Oof.
Absolutely. Wow. Oof.
Yeah. Love it.
Wow. That's like, I don't even know where to go with that. That was so awesome.
I got mine out.
Yeah,
hope
I'm like, wow,
No.
that was so incredible. Thank you so much for that, B. That was awesome.
My crowd going off, like just a perception shift. Like somebody just like, whoa.
Yeah. Did you have other questions, Josie?
I got all my answers that I wanted. I hope that my questions helped the viewers as well. And I just want to say again, thank you so much, B, because
this was fun. Like when I say this is fun, like I love doing things like this. Like I would love to sit in the room and just, like if you guys like just evolve into the evolution. I know you guys didn't ask for this, but I want to share this message with you guys if you guys would love this.
Yeah,
I could
absolutely.
literally see the growth of this show, and we in the white couches. Like I'm in the like one sofa. You feel me? I see y'all on the seat. I see Josie got her ponytail. She got her little board. You feel me? I see Misty. She got her mug, and it's like we just talking. It's like all these lights, and we got the producers. You feel me? And it's like we're just talking, we're just vibing, and it's like it's authentic, just like this. But it's like your show. It's gonna show people what it looks like.
Told you, late night talk show. I told you.
It's like it's like not that. It's like yes, y'all on Hollywood, yes, y'all on TV, but it's not the mediocre type. It's like I feel like I'm at my mama house watching this show. Like you feel me? Like you know how you
I do. Our goal is
like, we just talking. We ain't trying to look all cute. We ain't trying to like do no weird stuff. We ain't scripted. It's like this is just talking. Like the only order is I know I got my questions. You feel me? And I know that it's like I just see it, and I just see so many people just wanting to watch just to get the energy and the people that y'all bring on. It's just like the people y'all gonna on is gonna always bring a different message for somebody. It's like they're gonna teach different. I just really see it. I see it like in different areas. Like if someone in technology, someone like doing spiritual stuff, not even just spiritual stuff, but like different. It's like it seems so unique. It seems like stuff that people haven't heard before. That's just what it looks like. I can't even say it because I ain't never seen it before. Like, and I'm gonna be seeing it watching this show, and that just sounds powerful.
Thank you
so much.
I seen the people in my mind. I'm like, what the world? I feel like that's coming sooner than y'all believe. That's coming sooner than y'all think. Like soon, like I said, like, my body, like I just like. I feel it's breathing. Like I just feel somebody like, whoa, like it's overwhelming. Like I feel it's like it's exciting. Like it's like for real. Like now,
so exciting. I know.
So beautiful.
Our goal is to be streaming 24/7 on Virgin Airlines.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful that you were. Sorry, Misty, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say that I had told her and Shabaria that and the rest of the core family that I wanted it to have like a late night talk show vibe, but still remain authentic. So we're not going to aim for TV because we don't want them taking control. We want to remain authentic and be ourselves and still bring as much power and authenticity to people and help that we can. But our goal is to, by the end of the year, be streaming on Virgin Airlines.
So Virgin Airlines.
Virgin
Airlines. Well, Shabaria says there's another podcast that streams on this other airline 24/7.
You mean like the planes?
Yeah, like a plane, like planes. Yeah, the entire airline.
But look, that's still see how the perception. That's still TV because it's showing up on the TV. You feel?
Yes, but we keep control of what's the content.
They messages in a different way.
Yeah, we keep control of the content and the authenticity.
It's exactly. It's so beautiful that everything you just explained and was saying is exactly what we envision for it too, and we want. So it was so beautiful to hear you say all that, because
Confirmation. Woohoo!
No, like that's dope. Like my feet, like I'm just like I feel ready. Like this is gonna happen. Like this is gonna happen. Like y'all remember B saying, "This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen."
Well, let's go. Let's do it.
This is so awesome.
I have absolutely loved.
Yeah, I'm ready to be on the show. I'm already there. I'm already my first time. I'm ready for my second show. I'm ready for my second appearance. I'm like, hey, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You will be here, and we'll be with you live and other shows. I've enjoyed having you so much. Thank you so much
Yes,
again.
it's awesome.
And
Thank you.
if anyone has any questions, if you've resonated with anything, make sure you follow this guy on Instagram, Facebook. Find him everywhere. I will link links down below.
You're also on streaming on Spotify, right? Because you got your own podcast. He's got his own podcast. He's streaming on Spotify. Check him out.
So
yes,
let's do this. Thank you, B. And let us know if you want him back. We want him back. So yeah, and until then, we will see you next week.
Yes, be sure to like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, because it helps us out a lot. We want to be able to reach anybody and everybody everywhere, to be able to help them out, help them reach their freedom lifestyle, because here's where it begins. I just want to have one little quick question. B, is there any specific name they should be searching on in any platform for you? Or do you have one name for over all the platforms?
B Talks. B Talks with two S. B Talks with two S's. BEETALKSS. Just you can search me up in Google.
There you go. Exactly.
I'm on Google.
Awesome.
So powerful.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, B. We loved having you, and so excited for what's to come and for having you back.
Yes.
So with that, guys, we love you. Welcome to the FLC family. We're your family for life. Sorry, you can't get rid of us. That's just the way it is. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye. Yay.